Spill the tea. Well, everyone's like, we're waiting for that NDA to expire. We're waiting for the NDA to expire. So as soon as I'm assuming the NDA expires, she's gonna sing like a canary.
Annelise Vanderpool was she, like she has always and will be icon status in my opinion. Like she was the animated girl from Disney who had like luscious hair, great facial expressions. Girl, I want to know that tea that went down with Raven though. Like I
Do
whatever it
you
is.
carry a lunchbox?
What's
I
that
love
from?
That's Chelsea from That's So Raven. That was Annalise Vanderpool. You can't say you don't know the lunchbox line if you're going to be flexing
Girl,
on
it's been a
Annalise.
minute. It's been a minute. That's all I'm
She's
saying.
great.
It's the Pop Report.
So juicy.
Hey, bitch.
Oh, hey. What up?
Another day, another band shirt.
Oh, yeah. Another day, another band. But I have Nirvana on today.
Would you like to
Come
explain your
as you are. What?
Okay, that's one. I was about to say, would you like to explain the Nirvana tracks that you know?
Why must you always, what was it, about a boy or about a girl? I don't know. What are the other Nirvana songs? I know I was listening to Come As You Are earlier. Come as you are. Don't judge me, okay?
I'm not judging. I'm just saying you have
Yes,
great
you
taste
are.
in band shirts, like the ones from Hot Topic that you can buy easily.
These are not from Hot Topic. These are from Urban Outfitters. Very different demographic. Oops.
She dropped something. Well,
I dropped my
welcome
phone.
to today's episode.
Smells
Zachary,
like
what's up
Teen
with you?
Spirit.
Oh God, we're back on this. What's new with you?
Uh, Nothing. It's been quite the day. I've been taped No Filter and then had to tape Disaster Daters. And then tonight I have an event for LA Magazine to support the gay people. And now we're here doing Pop Report.
Remember when
So,
you said gays like Pride Month really isn't your thing?
It's not. We talked about that on Disaster Daters today too, because Jeffrey agrees with me that Pride has become more for the straight people than it is for the gay people. It's
I
so
feel
that
like
straight
Pride just
people
become an
can
excuse to
celebrate.
drink.
Yeah, it's like St. Patrick's Day. Nobody really cares about who's Irish. They care about drinking green beer. Or Cinco de Mayo. Nobody really cares about Mexican Independence Day as much as they care about drinking margaritas and eating chips and guac. So Pride has become that. It's become commercialized. Pride is the new Valentine's Day.
I don't mind that hot take. Well, before we get into today's episode, I want to read a bit of reviews that have come in.
Oh, yay.
Zach, you have praise that is for only you specifically. I'm like the plus one in these reviews. But someone wrote, I highly recommend listening to any podcast that Zach Peter does. I listen to him every day when I check out of life for a moment. He has real relationships with many of the Bravo celebrities and isn't scared to share his opinion. He's fun, sassy, and is able to look at all sides of a story versus just siding with how the fans are feeling. If you need to laugh and love pop culture, this podcast is for you.
Yay.
Here I come in. I appreciate Andy's take too often as he informs Zach on non-Bravo related news, and good job, gentlemen. So that is from Sarah K.
I'm glad
Gunn.
we have you here to inform me on non-Bravo news.
Yeah, to keep you in check of like what else is happening in life.
Charli XCX.
Charli XCX, which we will talk about
365.
her in a minute. Good job, baby girl.
Wait, can we add that Miley Cyrus was just on David Letterman and she dropped a new single, so we're adding that to music news. See, I'm coming into every episode with new music news.
You're coming in very educated, which I love. I appreciate you. You show up. You show out.
Period.
And speaking of music, I want to talk about Ariana Grande because that's the biggest thing that people have been gravitating towards this week. I saw you commented on
I did, and people didn't like what I had to comment. I said what I said, Andrew.
So here's the situation.
Well, give us the brief on what she said, because you
Yes.
reported this on What's Trending, and I
Yes.
commented on What's Trending. So give us the brief on what happened with Ariana.
So, as many have been keeping up, the Quiet on Set documentary that came out about Dan Schneider and all the shows he worked on with Nickelodeon has just been continuing, like week over week, with new people coming out saying a lot of different things about the producer of Nickelodeon. Investigation Discovery did put this on, and so Dan Schneider has actually basically issued them a lawsuit saying this is like slander and more. But within even after the documentary coming out, we have Kel Mitchell, who has come out this week saying his interactions with Dan Schneider. But also on top of that, we had Pod Crushed with Penn Badgley speak to Ariana Grande. And he was the recent special guest on the music video for Ariana Grande's latest single. But basically, he did at the very end sneak the question of like how things have been for her. And in that, he really alluded to what has it been like with everything going on for Quiet on Set. So, as Zach's comment points out, before I even preface, Zach said she said a lot of things and a lot of nothing at the same time. But Ariana Grande basically took the stage to say what's been going on for her, that she is reprocessing her time. It could be
What
that
platform was she on? She was on a podcast, or what was the interview that she gave?
yeah, she was on a podcast. It was called Pod Crush with Penn Badgley.
So
some
that
people
was
are
that was
familiar
Penn
with-
Badgley's podcast.
That was Penn Badgley's podcast. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was his. I only saw the clip of her.
Yeah, so since he was in her music video, I think it seems like he said, let's return the favor and you be on my podcast. And Ariana Grande has been a big fan of his over the years, obviously Gossip Girl, You, and more. But yeah, she spoke upon Victorious, she spoke upon, Victorious and a bit of Sam and Cat, just overall saying that at the time when she was involved, it was seeming like they were pushing the envelope and that they were the cool kids, being a little slight, more pushing forward or pushing boundaries than most other Nickelodeon shows or shows out there. But she said, looking back at the clip, she's like, oh shit, damn, we really did that. It wasn't really the way we thought it was. So she, I think, probably is also trying to be careful of what she says legally about it, because she doesn't want to get into anything specifically of whatever lawsuit's probably going on. Your comment, though, directly said, she said a whole lot and nothing at the same time. I don't disagree with you, but it's because probably too much legal's involved,
So I have a hot take. I think part of it is legal, and part of it is she doesn't want to get enthralled in the legalities of it. But I think also a part of it, and this is probably what she's struggling with internally, is she knows that platform helped give her the career that she has now. And so
Absolutely.
She's torn between being like, that I can't be too upset with that. Like, I think she had blinders on, because I think a lot of people in Hollywood do this. They put on blinders. They don't want to see what's going around them. They do what's asked of them because at the end of the day, they're focused on that end goal, and they want the fame and they want the money so bad that they will just stick their head in the sand and not deal with it. I think it's the same thing what happened with Harvey Weinstein. I think a lot of his friends, not him specifically, but a lot of these big, powerful people that knew him in Hollywood, they knew better than to ask questions, because if they asked questions, then it would put them in a situation that would make them feel morally corrupt in some way, and they were too focused on keeping their career going. And I think that's the case with Ariana Grande, and I think she's trying to process that and maybe realize that some of the things she desensitized herself to at that time were maybe things that she shouldn't have gone through, and maybe there's some unresolved trauma that she hasn't dealt with. But I think it's more of the internal conflict that she's facing, and that's why she doesn't want to talk. I don't think she wants to ruin her career. I don't think she wants to get caught up in the legalities of it. I think she's trying to deal with her internalized processing of potential trauma that she faced. And so I think it's a multitude of things. But I stand by my statement saying she said a whole lot without saying a whole lot. And I know people didn't like it, but they're like, she said a lot, you just didn't listen. I was like,
she
no.
wants her to be therapists on set. She wants her to be like safer
Which I thought was good.
For everyone. Great.
I thought that was good to her statement, that there should be therapists on set, or that parents should be allowed access to every single part of the set. You should have the kids that are on set should have therapy at least twice a week as a mandatory requirement to make sure that they're okay.
Thrice a week at times too, she said.
Thrice. Wow.
Thrice.
That's a lot of
thrice.
We don't need that much therapy. Like, how much therapy do we need?
I mean, some people need it. But also, I don't know if you paid attention when this was all going around. People did start passing around this clip of Ariana in what seemed to be a very webcam-esque setup, because obviously a lot of these shows like iCarly, Victorious, they were in that vlogging start era when it was cool.
Right.
But there was a clip of her on a bed trying to squeeze a potato and squeeze the juice out. And so people really looked at that being like, this is not okay for a child to do. She is so young. This is
there
a
were
euphemism
several
similar.
clips. Yeah, there
several
were several
clips.
clips that I think have resurfaced. Like, I think I saw her doing one of being like, it's impossible to drink water upside down. And she like turns upside down and is pouring a bottle of water on herself. Like on TikTok had a number of clips from, what was it, Kat and Sam?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also think, and this is probably fucked up, but I think Jeanette McCurdy had to face some of that stuff a lot more than Ariana
Yes.
Grande did, because Ariana Grande was the star. And you also
Yes.
know to be protective of the star, and there are more eyes on the star. And so you treat the star like a Fabergé egg. Whereas the stepkid, which I think is kind of how Jeanette McCurdy was treated on set, because she's openly talked about the difficulties of her on
Yeah.
the set of
Yeah.
Kat and Sam, and how Ariana Grande got, priorities.
treatment.
And this is where I think Ariana maybe kept her head in the sand and was like, I'm not going to fuck with Jeanette McCurdy. I'm going to focus on my own thing because I'm the real star here. And so therefore, Jeanette kind of fell into the background. And I think when you fall into the shadows, that's where it's easier for you to get preyed on.
Yeah, I think also she doesn't probably want to rehash everything with Jeanette McCurdy a little bit. Like, she obviously wrote her book, and in it she stated that there was legit an episode where Ariana Grande was absent because she
Yeah,
had to
she
go
was
do
in
a
a box.
performance, and she was
Yeah.
in that box. And so Jeanette was like, I had been, auditioning for other things, had other projects, had other things that I had to say no to because they wouldn't relieve me from the show. So she was like, specifically to have an episode where someone is carrying the entire weight of it, the other person's in a box and out.
Yeah, because Ariana
think it's
Grande's
just
character was like supposed to be trapped in a box, and it was to make up for the fact that Ariana couldn't be on set to film that episode.
Right.
So Jeanette had to be the main person in the episode, and then I think they just did voiceovers with Ariana
Yeah.
later, which is not fair that Ariana had opportunities to go and work outside and take an episode off that Jeanette wasn't able to have that same luxury with.
Yeah, I think just overall, like, just to put a pin in it, like, Ariana doesn't want to rehash any of it. It's probably like a very hard time looking back for her. In my POV, there's too much. She's like, whatever I say, I will be given flack. Like, she has no right way or wrong way to handle this. It's like she's gonna get some heat either way.
Regardless. Yeah.
I also saw you want to talk about another childhood like moment that's coming back for me. Annelise Vanderpool. What,
Yes.
what can you explain to me what kind of happened with this? Because I only saw the headlines coming from this, but I want to hear like what you know.
So Annelise Vanderpool she played the character Chelsea on That's So Raven, which was
Icon.
Raven Simone's
She was-
show. Yeah.
She's a gay icon.
Yes, she played Raven's redheaded best friend on That's So Raven back on Disney Channel. They end up rebooting the show, and they rebooted as Raven's House. They were doing this with a lot, right? They did it with Boy
Raven's
Meets
Home.
World.
Yeah.
Raven's Home. Yeah, and so they did it with Boy Meets World. They made Girl Meets World. Full House. They made Fuller House. So now Raven's Home was the new version of That's So Raven, where Raven and Chelsea are grown adults. They now have kids, and the show focuses on them as parents, and the storylines kind of follow their kids a bit more. So Annelise, I guess it's unclear what exactly happened between her and Disney Channel. We just know she's clearly under some ironclad NDA, but she throws shade at Raven and she throws shade at Disney Channel quite a bit. Well, I guess it
Right.
wasn't, the new show wasn't on Disney Channel, it was on Disney Plus. But whatever. The Disney parent company, she kind of throws shade at them repeatedly on TikTok. She does a lot of TikToks, and a lot of people get
Yes.
irritated because she dances around the fact that like there was some sort of falling out with Raven, and there was, she was improperly let go from the show, and again, it's unclear. There's
She
just
wasn't.
a lot
Was
of
she not in the
speculation.
the reboot whatsoever? She wasn't.
She
asked to be
was on
brought
the
back?
reboot. She started
Got
the
it.
reboot with Raven, and then something happened, and they released her from the reboot. I don't know if she ended up continuing onto the reboot or if it was canceled altogether with her. I don't know. I just know at some point she was released, and she wasn't happy about how she was released from the show. And she also feels like she was done wrong by Raven in some way, and that Raven was not the easiest to work with. And I think Raven's kind of danced on this a little bit by being like, Chelsea and I are or not Chelsea, but Annalise
Oh
and I are
yeah,
sisters.
I saw that. They're like,
Yeah.
we've grown apart. Like, obviously, our working relationship like was different from like our everyday lives. But where does
Yeah.
Jojo Siwa fit in all this? Like,
So Jojo Siwa fits in because a lot of the fans are trolling Annalise, being like, girl, like either give us the tea about what went down with Raven and Disney, or enough with these constant TikToks where you dance on the line and you kind of like make cheeky jokes. Like one of them was like, there was one TikTok where I was like, all that time and what did it pay for?
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so there were a lot of those where she kind of like shades the situation. And so Jojo finally commented and she was just like she basically was trolling Annalise and was like again, either say what it is or shut up and just be grateful the fact that like Raven's talked about this. Raven says y'all are good. Like there's really no reason for you to keep dragging out this beef aside from attention. And so Jojo posted it and then Jojo deleted the comment.
She deleted the comment.
She didn't
Girl,
even
as she
she
knows,
didn't even
nothing goes
no,
away on the internet.
no, she didn't even stand on business. So
Stand
then
on. I want to put that on a shirt. Stand on
she did
business.
not stand on. Normally she's stomping on the ground, but this is the one time she had no business to stand on. She
This is the
had
time
no
Annalise Vanderpool should have said, "Karma's a bitch."
should have known better. So Annalise then did a podcast with Christy Carlson Romano, who played Ren on Even Stevens with Shia LaBeouf. Even Stevens, also great show at the same time as That's So Raven. And so she, I think, has now done like she does like a bunch of podcasts. She does a bunch of YouTube videos where she takes a lot of those old Disney Channel stars and Christy Carlson Romano kind of like brings back that nostalgia. So she often collaborates with other Disney Channel kid stars. And so she did a podcast with Annalise where she's like, oh my God, did you see that Jojo Siwa was trolling you in your comments? And Annalise was like, no, I didn't see that. She's like, I just saw that people were commenting, oh my God, Jojo's here, Jojo. And she was like, and I'm so out of the loop that I thought they were talking about like Jojo Rabbit. She's like, I didn't know what they were talking about when it came to Jojo because there was no comment that came from a Jojo. And so that's how they found out that Jojo had deleted the comment. But then, of course, the internet screenshots things. So they screenshotted Jojo's comment and Annalise saw it. And then Annalise made a cheeky remark to like clapping back at Jojo. Basically being like, girl, bye. I have bigger things to worry about and bigger fish to fry other than you.
I have bigger things to dance around. I also want to know the tea. Like,
spill the tea. Well, everyone's like, we're waiting for that NDA to expire. We're waiting for the NDA to expire. So as soon as I'm assuming the NDA expires, she's going to sing like a canary.
Annalise Vanderpool was like, she, she has always and will be icon status, in my opinion. Like, she was the animated girl from Disney who had like luscious hair, great facial expressions. Girl, I want to know that tea that went down with Raven, though. Like, whatever it is.
Do you carry a lunchbox?
What's
I
that
love
from?
That's Chelsea from That's So Raven. That was Annalise Vanderpool. You can't say you don't know the lunchbox line if you're going to be flexing
Girl,
on
it's been a
Annalise.
minute. It's been a minute. That's all I'm
She's
saying.
great. I do
But
feel bad for her because it seems like she was done pretty dirty, and I want to know
she
the
was
tea.
done pretty dirty.
And TikTok wants to know too. We should bring Annalise on this podcast and be like, Annalise, girl, give us the tea.
Girl, let us know. Well, those are some hot headlines to start out the gate. Well, before we continue anymore, I want to bring up that the fact that when I tell you things, Zach, they do come back on this podcast.
Yes, they do.
Like, a lot of things that are trending and important will be brought back cyclistically, emotionally, and we're talking about Chappell Roan now.
Yay.
You always seem so enthused for like this music, like
I
updates.
did see who's the cowboy one with that covers his face like Sia, the knockoff
Orville Peck?
gay Sia,
Orville Peck.
Orville Redenbacher.
You saw him on Paper
that
Magazine?
Yes, I saw he came out on a magazine and he's now starting to show his face, and now I know why he was
Booty
hiding it for so
bounce.
long. But he does have a great butt.
Booty can bounce like Kim Kardashian style. Like, I'll say what I say. But we're talking about Chappell Roan because, as I told you before, and for those of you who don't know, Chappell Roan has been an artist who's been exploding on the scene for quite some time. She's been 10 years in the making, but she has just been blowing up. She was on the Guts tour for Louis Rodrigo. She dropped out of the tour early. She did Coachella. Her listening streams went kablooey, like up. Bonnaroo just actually changed her stage from a tent to a larger audience, and she performed in North Carolina last night. I'm in North Carolina. Guess where I was? Not there. I'll tell you that much. But she was addressing the crowd, and people thought she was going to make a big announcement. And she just starts having this big breakdown where she's like, guys, I'm just having an off day. Like, I'm having a really off day. And like, to balance everything, she was saying that she's having a hard time with the catapulting of her career, and everything's happening, quote unquote, so fast. So she is having so much happen so fast right now for just where she's at, like to go from tour to Coachella to singles, like to bigger stages. She's getting a lot of attention. Obviously, we talked about her last time with her set that she was dressed as, Lady Liberty and saying, I'm not coming to the White House, but, she still has so much this year where everyone's like, it's Pride. We want you. You're in demand. So yeah, she had her first, like, I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys. And like, I'm just trying to figure out how to balance it all. You're
I don't
you're
know.
you're
I feel like you like this chick, and everything I've heard about her so far, I'm not that impressed. Like,
Okay,
you
well,
work so hard to get this level of success, and then you get this level of success, and then you're gonna cry about it. Like, I'm sorry, that sounds a little privileged, and it sounds a little like you have opportunities.
she said
People
she
would
felt like she
fight
was
for
having
these
an
fucking
off
opportunities.
day. I agree with that, but she said she
Great.
felt like she
The
was having an
best
off
fucking
day.
here's the thing. The best fucking pop stars and musicians, you're telling me, did Freddie Mercury go on stage and fucking cry? Is, Madonna going on stage and being like, guys, I'm having an off day today. I just played Coachella, which is one of the biggest achievements for somebody in my category, in my age demo. I've been
The
10
last
years
thing,
in the making and I'm having an off day. No, a real fucking pop star, musician, rock star, whatever. This is what you want. This is what you work for. I'm not saying that it's great and it's luxurious, but that's like saying I want to be the president of the United States and oh my God, it's so hard. Sorry guys, I can't address the union today because I'm just having an off day. It's like, no, if that's what you're working for, then like that's the life. You should embrace it. Don't
no,
complain about it.
I think she is. I think she is. I think she just didn't want everyone to feel like, wow, she was kind of mid today, Like she was addressing like, look, I'm feeling off. I don't want you walking away from this concert being like, I thought she could have done better. She's like, I know I'm probably not at my best right now.
That's
I'm
when you
exhausted,
channel
but
your Sasha Fierce. You're like, okay, in this moment, I'm not Beyonce. I'm Sasha Fierce. I'm putting on the character and I'm delivering a show for these people because guess what? The reason I'm successful, the reason I have money and privilege and power and I'm popping on the charts right now is because all these people showed up for me. They didn't show up for me to come and have a mid performance. They didn't show up for me to come and have a vulnerable moment. No, they came for me to come up and be a fucking pop star and to give a great fucking show. Okay? This is very much like I'm from the mindset of like the Kim Kardashian work ethic, not
nobody
the
wants to work these
Kylie
days.
Jenner. Nobody wants to fucking work this. I'm of the mindset of Kim, not of Kylie or Kendall. Whereas like Kendall's like, oh my God, I have anxiety today. I don't think I can get on the plane and do the show. And Kim's like, I don't give a fuck. Pump me up with drugs and do it. Like, let me do what I got to do. I'm going to hop on that jet. I'm going to go show up to my appearances and then I'm going to feed my kids afterwards.
And
Like
then I'm gonna
Kim is a
feed
hustler
them.
and she gets it done. And that's why Kim Kardashian is a real star and Kendall is not.
Well, that's a great time to transition and talk about Erwan because that's another Kardashian favorite.
Oh God. This bitch. Okay.
Miss Erwan is back again with another collaboration, and my feed has been filled of this Charli XCX smoothie. Now, let me rant. I am the biggest Charli fan, but this
I
is
know.
sending me like this is my irk of the week. It is a $31 smoothie. And like we are hyping up smoothies for a grocery store. For what reason? Like me being a Charlie fan, cool, great. But like me paying $31 for a smoothie that advertises it has organic water. I'm sorry, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is organic water? Can I not just get tap and say, this is it? I've seen people recreating this smoothie or other smoothies at home. Obviously, we had other partnerships with Hailey Bieber. We've had other partnerships of just like overpriced juicy smoothies. Like that math of $20 to $30 for a smoothie. I'm just like, you could spend that on other things. But
$31 for a smoothie is wild.
it's steep,
Like,
but also like people are hyping that up on TikTok. So like, should I go try it? Should I go try it? So it's working for Erwan. But Charli XCX, she has this brat smoothie there, and it's green and it emulates the album. But I'm like, why the fuck am I gonna pay $31 for a smoothie?
it's a matcha. What is it? A matcha lemonade
Like
smoothie.
Brazil lemonade. Like it's really just a lime. Like I am a ride or die Charlie. Like she can watch this and she can say whatever she wants. I am just like, babes, who said organic water. And then who also said $31 is a price point that I'm willing to pay? Like,
But
why
like,
don't we
what's
partner?
in it is what I want to know.
Okay, like
I'm trying to
I
look up
need
the
to.
smoothie recipe. Let's see. Erewhon. Because I try to Google it and they don't tell you what's in it. Because I'm like, if I'm paying $31, I would like to know what is in this damn $31 smoothie. I know they also have their $9 vacation, like sunscreen smoothie, which is
Well,
supposed to like emulate like the sunscreen,
I also
vacation
saw people
sunscreen.
like recreating the smoothie at home, but I'm just like, like
How much was Kendall Jenner's smoothie? Wasn't it that one like
$19.
21, 19?
I think
Yeah.
it's like something around like the 20s price point. My TikTok's not loading, but I saw people creating it at home and showing the ingredients, and I was just like, can we make a partnership with Jamba Juice or something for like a more affordable rate? Even though Jamba Juice is nothing but sugar, like why are we doing it? As we're both just like searching on our phone, like I don't know. How do you feel about the whole Erewhon craze of smoothies?
Is it real?
Like the smoothies or like this
For
this
the record,
Charlie?
the Charli XCX Erewhon smoothie isn't a real collab. Daniel Prada, who has a series on TikTok about rating items if they're number one hater approved, shared the drink for a video, but reveals at the end he created it himself. Did we just get hoaxed?
We did. I can't. I don't want this. I'm
We
done with
got
this.
we got hoaxed by Daniel Prada.
Of all people, fucking Daniel Prada.
That's why we can't find the recipe because it's not a real smoothie. Wow, I was conned.
But also
I
like
was lied to.
but also like I don't disagree that this would be a thing that everyone would put out, you know?
Oh, 1,000%. That's why it was believable because people would absolutely do a $31 Erewhon Charli XCX brat smoothie.
I
We
don't
just
like
got
that.
duped. We
I don't
just
like
got
that.
conned. I
Anyway,
hate that the internet does this to us.
I've been conned by so many gay men in my life. I'd like to move on to something else. Speaking of other con or should be convicts, Mr. Chris Brown.
Oh
What
God.
what people still see in this man, I don't know. I don't know. But I don't
Big
know if you've
dick.
seen the video of him or the multiple videos of him hanging on stage like SpongeBob, but he was hoisted on stage like his pink little moment and he got stuck. He couldn't get down. And there's countless videos of them pulling up a ladder at the Prudential Center, New Jersey, hoisting him down so he can perform the rest of his set. And there he was, screaming and pointing his finger guns at the crew behind the scenes.
Interesting.
So I don't know. All I have to say is I want to be done with this music segment because I'm already bitter about this whole smoothie situation. But like, why are we
I
still
know.
supporting
I
Chris
hate
Brown?
that we were duped.
I like
Wait.
dupes
Did you see the article that I sent you about Travis Kelce?
about the washing.
Yeah.
Oh
How
yeah,
he doesn't wash his feet.
I thought I put that in here. I thought I put
He
that.
doesn't
in the
wash his
beginning.
feet and he doesn't wash his hair. I know that's not
Washing your
music
hair's-
news, but it's sports news.
Okay, going on to sporty things on our sports corner of the day. Announcer Zack is here filling in for the
you-
straight men.
Well, I'm just curious what your thoughts are. He was on the New Heights podcast with his brother Jason, and they were talking about how they don't. Well, I guess the brother is like, I don't wash my feet and I don't wash my hair because washing your hair
This
is
is
a waste
just a
of time.
trend
and
that's
so is
been coming
washing your
up
feet.
right now. I don't know if you've
But
seen
remember
this on
when
TikTok.
Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis were like, we don't take showers every day?
That's fine.
That was like a thing a few years ago. But like, do you wash your hair every day and do you wash your feet every day?
Okay, so you're not supposed to really wash your hair every day. That's
Correct.
the thing. So you can have your oils come back in and like rejuvenate your scalp. And then there's just been this trend of people asking their coworkers in the office if they actually wash their feet. I watched TMZ ask their male coworkers, mostly straight men, if they do or don't wash their feet. And some responded, well, the soap rinses down my body, so like that seems to be fine. And I'm like, sir, if you're not loofahing those bunions, I don't want to see it. Like, I don't
So
want to see you unsubscribe. Like,
You
I wash
scrub
my
your
feet.
feet with every wash. You
I
scrub
can say not every
everything.
wash I'm like going in it, but I'm like, you know when your feet are crusty. If you don't know when your feet are crusty, you got to sign out, unsubscribe. Like, you need to get on that baby wipe something like routine outside of the shower because your feet definitely have some mold and mildew.
Yes. So I wouldn't say I like scrub my feet every single day, but like I'm definitely not just to let the soap drain. Like I understand that mentality of like, oh well, the soap is dripping down your feet, like it's gonna rinse stuff. But like for me, I work out so aggressively every morning that I feel like my feet are sweaty and gross. That like I need to wash them, like at least
Mm.
with soap and like
Mm.
the lathering of it all. And not only that, but then on top of that, I have to use deodorant on my feet too because then I feel like I'm walking around
Sexy.
downtown a lot. So like there's like they have like now that's a trend like whole body deodorant. People are putting deodorant on their pits and their coochie and their toes. And so or
Coochie
under their
deodorant?
boobs. Yeah, they have coochie
Coochie
deodorant.
deodorant.
Yeah.
We should make, we should, can we make, like, I know there's like Loverboy and shit like that, but I'm like, can we make coochie deodorant? I think that should be our first
Yeah.
product.
Well, they
Like,
have like have you never used ball deodorant?
what?
You don't know what ball deodorant is?
I know washing my balls. I don't know ball deodorant.
Yeah, but balls can get musty, right? So they have
Girl,
like the liquid whole body
girl.
deodorant that you just go and you put it around your balls. That way your balls are never musty. So if you find yourself in a situation where you need to get a low key blowy
situation.
on the go, yeah, like a low key blowy on the go, your balls are always fresh. There you go. Life hacks. There's our
What if
Instagram
someone's
clip
like
for the
doing
week.
up your balls and like they deodorant has chunks. You know, there's white stuff. Like I don't.
No,
I
that's why
want
you
to pivot
have the
out of this.
liquid deodorant, Andy. Liquid deodorant and shower wipes are the two best inventions ever because you can always just like have a freshie on the go. You just wipe everything up, you throw a little deodorant on there. It's liquid. It's like a cream. It's like a lotion texture. So it like goes on clear.
You
It's great.
know,
Oh my god, it's the best. And then you always smell fresh as a daisy and it keeps them dry.
okay, this isn't an ad. Number one, so settle the fuck down. Number two, like wipe your damn
No,
balls.
I just love ball deodorant. It's the best thing. I wish I had a brand to promote, but I ain't mentioning any names until they give me some money.
Except for Nirvana. Let's talk about some more sports and some other hot dogs, if you must, since we're talking about balls. Have you been keeping up with the Joey Chestnut situation, or do you know who that
No.
is?
Who's Joey Chestnut?
So the man who is the reigning champ of the Nathan's hot dog eating contest has been
And
disqualified.
I would know this. Why?
Because you should know, because you know about things like ball deodorant. Duh. Like, that's all
Because
I'm
ball
saying.
deodorant affects me. Joey Chestnut. Oh my god.
So Joey Chestnut is the
Oh, this is
reigning
disgusting.
hot dog eating guy. He dips in water. You've
Why?
probably seen the clips where they do this hot dog eating contest. TLDR, he promoted another brand like hot dogs. And so Nathan said, "You're disqualified from the contest," which I think is the most bitter thing to do. If you
That's
know
so
someone is good
mean.
at something, like, I'm
The best way
sorry.
to cut them out. How do you eat that many hot dogs? My
I
gosh.
think he like what I need to see how many he's eaten in one sitting. Like,
Well, he
I
has
think it's
all
pretty
those on the
impressive.
tray.
How many hot dogs has Joey Chestnut
I can't
eaten
believe they
at?
banned him. That's crazy.
It is nuts, but
76 hot dogs.
in
76
just
hot
10
dogs in
minutes.
10 minutes.
That's a lot of glizzies. So Netflix basically reached out to him and one of his biggest rivals in the hot dog eating space, and they said, "Fuck it, let's do a competition," because Netflix is really trying to do live sports. So I think this is the ultima Jojo Siwa moment of karma's a bitch. Nathan's is probably like,
I
shit,
should've known better.
shit. Like, we just lost to Netflix and they weren't even in here, you know? Like, I think that's the ultimate fuck you in a way,
Yeah.
to be able to go back to them and be like, he's like, "Look, I was so disappointed I can't participate in this, but a check's a
Guess
check."
who's winning now?
Not Annelise Vanderpool.
Nope. She's
Mm-mm.
still on TikTok.
Well, I kind of like our little mini sports segment we just had.
I know. We normally don't have sports segments.
I know.
Nothing
I
else
kinda
happened
like
in
that.
sports this week?
Um,
I guess
nothing I want to talk about. Like, we're not
we're on a
experts at
sports channel.
sports. Well,
Did you see? Well, are we moving to couples corner now?
yeah, I'll give like a brief highlight if you want about TV of just one thing. If you're
Oh,
excited
yeah.
about Jimmy
What are we?
Fallon, he's still staying on until 2028.
Oh, I don't care.
Got it. We
Does
can
anybody
continue then.
watch any of those talk shows anymore?
I feel
The
like it was
only
a
one
big
that
thing in the
was
2010s. Like people were like
yeah.
imitating Jimmy Fallon very hard, but I feel like yeah, lately no. Even Seth
No, the
Meyers was
only one
renewed.
that was good at it was what's his face? James Corden. And it was only because he had those fun segments like the
I
spill
feel
your
like the fun segments have
guts.
dropped off. Like even Jimmy Fallon doesn't have as many fun segments.
But I feel like Corden was able to do it well because they would still go viral on social media. Like they would clip them out on TikTok and Instagram.
Yep.
And so like that kept carpool karaoke, but he got on that early
Oh,
with like uploading
oh,
it on
Witness
YouTube.
with Katy Perry and live streaming in the house, eating like fill your guts or spill your
He was
guts.
he was good at that. Where the rest of them I feel like have fallen off.
Yeah. Anyway, that's your TV update. They've all fallen off. I think we've all fallen off. People have also been upset about the Kardashians because people are realizing
Oh,
it's self-produced by the Kardashians now for the Hulu show versus the former production company, so they have a lot more control.
they had
But
just as much control on E because they were producers on Keeping Up with the Kardashians as well.
you know you're never gonna get as much juicy drama and behind the scenes like stuff like back in the day. Like,
Yeah. Well, I think
but
it's
we're
because
talking.
now they have boundaries. Now they have businesses that they want to protect. Whereas it's like before, they had nothing to lose. Them beating the shit out of each other on the show worked at the time. Them exploiting a lot of their personal lives worked at the time. But now they have these multi-billion-dollar businesses and brand deals and and kids and families that they're trying to protect. That they're never going to give us what they used to.
But we want to talk about the couples corner and talk about the Kardashians, right?
Yeah, what's going on with Courtney?
Oh, okay. So I have Lemmy gummies. Not gonna lie,
I love Lemmy gummies.
I have them. They're nothing but sugar, but they're good. You know, they
They
do the
don't have
job.
sugar in them.
Oh, it tastes like sugar. Whatever it is.
I think they use like monk fruit and stevia.
Good for them. Anyway,
Yeah, they're like clean gummies. It's Kourtney Kardashian's whole brand is about being clean.
get clean with Courtney. Clean your feet with Courtney. Cleaning my toes with Kourtney Kardashian. Um,
Travis would love that.
I would love to see Chloe goes to Air One still. Anyway, Courtney just opened up about moving in with Travis Barker. And so, hot take, my turn. I think if you're about to have a damn baby with somebody, I think you should try living with them first, fully. I know they're like
She's
a
already
block or two
married to
away.
him.
Yeah, but like, I'm a big believer in like live with someone before you marry them. Like,
Yeah.
do the damn thing. But obviously, they're like a block or two away. But I'm like, they're discussing rebuilding Courtney's home. She's moving into his home while hers is under construction so they can all live under one roof this entire time. But like, I'm like, wait, like, why are we kind of going, in my mind, a little backwards? Like, I would not have the baby first, then live with you. Like, I'd live with you first and then have the baby. Whatever she wants to do, she can do it. That is up to everyone else's prerogative. It's their lifestyle. But like, what would you do? Would you live with someone first and then get
I
married
don't
or
know.
marry
This
them?
is becoming such a big trend of like, living separately, having separate bathrooms, having separate bedrooms, having separate houses. Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Falchuk, when they got married, they were living in separate houses for like the first year before they decided to move in together. So, I mean, I think it can work. I mean, you just kind of have two houses. I think they like spend the night over each other, but like, it's like just, they have
One
two
big
neighboring
sleepover.
houses.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was more weird when like Tristan moved in with Chloe because his house was under construction and they weren't together. Like that was,
Girl, I wish I had that excuse to live with someone. My house is being built. I'm sorry. I'm under construction. Can I move in?
yeah, with your ex. Yeah, no.
No.
Could
No.
you imagine? Could you imagine while
Can you
your apartment
believe?
was being renovated, you moving in with your ex and having to like live together for a few months?
That sounds torturous to anyone, I think, in general. So I
Nice way to have to not have a real response to that.
I mean, this is saying nothing and saying something at the same time as you
Yeah, it
would
was a
say.
very Ariana Grande answer.
You know, hard pass.
Just gonna
Thank you.
stir that
Also,
pot.
did you also see that Dakota Johnson and Mr. Coldplay are like seeing each other again? Mr. Chris
Are
Martin?
they?
I think I saw a report that says like they're starting to see each other again and they had like a relationship at one point. Um,
I did see that J Lo and Ben Affleck were
are
at
working on
his
it.
kid's graduation.
Yeah, at his rental home, right?
The graduation was at the rental home?
I think he had like a rental home or something. I don't know. I saw like a
He does
headline.
have a rental home. Yeah, he's renting a home right now. But I'm saying they were just spotted at the graduation. And I believe Jennifer Garner was there as well.
Yes,
They
and they
weren't
had
spotted
rings.
together, but they still had their rings on and they were at the graduation.
Wrong hand. Elenio
Wait, did you
Paquando.
also see, speaking of J-Lo, did you see she was out at the Grove? And she was getting mad at
Doing
the
what?
paparazzi. She's literally out shopping with her son at the Grove. One of the twins was with her, and they're out shopping at the Grove, and she's walking, and then she like turns to the paparazzi. She's like, "Really? You're gonna take a picture of me right now? Really? Can I have a little privacy?" And I'm like, "You're at the fucking Grove. Like, what are
That's
you
the most
doing? Like,
public of public.
you're literally at the Grove." And then she was also spotted. I mean, I did feel kind of bad because she was also spotted walking down Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood, which,
Doing what?
hello,
That's the last place I would be if I was a celebrity.
thank you. And she's like annoyed that everyone's like out there. And to be fair, like I'm annoyed with J-Lo right now, but to be fair, people literally had their phones and they're like this close to her. And they're just like, oh my God, oh my God. And she's like at the corner trying to cross the street. No
Girl,
security
the
or
last place you're
anything.
gonna catch me walking, even me,
But
even my
thank
broke
you. That
ass,
was
is
the
on Santa Monica
point.
Boulevard. Like I'm a gay man who, that's the capital of gay men in Santa Monica Boulevard. But like, why?
But also, hello, as you said, the gay capital, that you don't think the gays are going to recognize you walking down Santa Monica Boulevard, crossing the rainbow, crosswalk? Like, come on. Like, I'm just like, why is she out in like at the Grove and walking down Santa Monica Boulevard? These are like the most overexposed places to go to. That's like a celebrity that wants to have a date night and they choose to go to Craig's for an intimate, quaint dinner. Like, hello, Craig's is where you go if you want to be photographed.
Same with
It's
Giorgio
just like
Baldi.
it's insane to me.
It's insane to me. Well,
It is. Like what like and then she's gonna get mad at the paparazzi and people are like, come on, like she didn't know the paparazzi were gonna be at the Grove. It's literally an outdoor mall that everybody goes to. When celebrities have book signings, they pick the Barnes and Noble at the Grove because it's the biggest open mall.
my first day in LA, I got a Megan Trainor album signing at the Barnes and Noble there.
See? Exactly, because that's where celebrities go when they want to be seen.
Well, Zach, I don't want to be seen anymore. I think I want to like
She's
let my
crazy.
hair down, go on fucking like.
Wait, speaking of letting your hair down, did you see Miley Cyrus was on David Letterman's My Next Guest Needs No Introduction?
Oh, yes, this will be our last topic. Tell me about this because I didn't get to see everything, but that's one I've actually really wanted to see.
Oh my God, it was actually really good. She was doing like an intimate show at the Chateau Marmont, which she
Yes.
says is very special to her. And it was an invite only show that she was doing there. And so she invited David Letterman to come and she was like testing out new material and it was more of an acoustic vibe. But it was really good. She talks about Dolly Parton and her relationship with Dolly and how, Dolly is kind of somebody that she can go to that grounds her and like gives her real advice about the business. Like she was like at one point, when they came to me and asked me to do the Grammys, when she sang Flowers at the Grammys, she's like, and I was considering doing it. And I told Dolly, she's like, I'm considering doing the Grammys, but like, I don't know. And Dolly's like, of course you're doing the fucking Grammys. Speaking of who's the girl that we were talking about earlier, the bitch that was complaining that she was having an
Chappell
off
Roan.
day.
Chappell Roan.
Yeah, Chappell Roan. Right next door to the Abbey. So Miley is telling Dolly this, and Dolly's like, "You're absolutely doing the Grammy. Like, what do you mean you're not going to perform at the Grammy?" She's like, "That is a milestone that like not many artists get, and if they do get it, they don't get it often. You are absolutely performing at the Grammys. You're going to put on your hair and makeup. You're going to get your glam done. You're going to go out there and you're going to give them a fucking show." And she's like, "Dolly always keeps it real with me." And I'm like, that's right. Dolly is a real music icon.
And she has a theme park called Dollywood that I've been to.
Yes, and Miley revealed that Dolly actually regularly, like very frequently, eats Dollywood food. That's her preferred food. She's always eating food
It's
from
so
Dollywood, which is
good.
weird.
It's so like Boysenberry Festival and everything else. Like it's actually really good food. It's Disney of the South.
She also had a lot of nice things to say about Billy Ray, which I was surprised because I saw that there were headlines that were pulled from her interview with David Letterman where she says that she got her narcissism from her father. And so it looked like she was shading Billy Ray. But
Right.
in watching it and seeing the context of that clip, she was like talking about the traits that she got from her mom and the traits that she got from her dad. And in some cases, you get good traits from your parents and bad traits from your parents. And so it was kind of just like a joke that she was making. She was like, I got my narcissism from my dad because everything about my childhood I think about is all about me. But then she also later in the interview had a lot of really nice things to say about her father and basically said she wouldn't be I don't even know if it's fair to call her like a pop star, but like she wouldn't, because she's a musician, but pop isn't her only genre. But like she says that she wouldn't reach the level of like celebrity or performer that she is without her father because he kind of set the stage.
He
And
guided
she
her,
does
like,
have a
the
lot
good,
of
the
empathy
bad.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she does have a lot of empathy for him. And she talks about how like he was raised very differently than she was. She was raised very privileged. She was raised in a nice home. She was raised in a nice house where she had two parents that were very involved in her life. And she's like, he had a really rough childhood and he didn't have that same stability and he didn't have the money that I grew up with. And so she does have a lot of empathy for him. It's a really good interview. I enjoyed it. And then she has a new song that she released in it. Psycho Killer.
I'm going to listen after this. Coming with the music news. Well,
I came prepared.
you did. You put on a good show today, Zachary. Like doing
Thank
multiple
you.
podcasts. First of all, Zach has many podcasts. He's very fresh to the scene, so please give him some advice on what to do and leave a review and tell him how he can be better because he's just starting out. He's never done this before. But you're doing great, sweetie.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And
as are you, even though the reviews don't reflect it.
No, the reviews don't reflect anything of my importance whatsoever. But we made it to 10 episodes.
Yay!
Number 10. Look, strong start, as what they say in my
5
workout
weeks.
class.
5 weeks, 10 episodes. I'm looking for a man in finance. Trust fund. 6'5", blue eyes.
6'5" would fucking break my neck. Think about that.
Yeah,
Think
that's too
about
tall.
that. Well, Zachary, I hope you have an amazing weekend because it is Friday, and you need to let your hair down too. You've been going, you've been running. Take a break, chill out, and
Put your hands up, you're playing my song. The butterflies fly away.
Get yourself a Miley shirt. If you don't have a Miley shirt for the next podcast, I'll be petitioning.
I need a Miley shirt. Miley's actually one of my favorite artists. I'm not like a Lady Gaga or a Katy Perry or an Ariana Grande. Miley is a real artist. Miley's got, but she did reveal that she doesn't like the song "Party in the USA."
Understood. I've heard it enough too. It was a Jessie J song. Jessie J said no.
Was it?
Yeah, she wrote it.
Oh yeah, she said no. Yeah, they said yeah, and Miley's like, it's not a song that I connect to. She's like, it's a popular song. She calls it a lottery song.
Go win the lottery this weekend. Come back to me and come back with some good news. Let's like try to have some
sure
good news
hope
next
so.
week. Well, otherwise, everyone, thank you so much for listening. 10 episodes deep. Obviously, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review. Tell Zach some nice things, and leave me aside like
Please
you always
do.
do. And we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.